Good morning, exiles and travelers. Yeah, it's travelers in Last Epoch. This is Raya. Welcome. I'm sure that both of you guys are either not watching this video, going on Twitter, or sorry, X, for reasons we're about to explain, or perhaps you're stuck with this decade-old question of, oh my god, what do I play? Last Epoch or POE 2? Or I'm not here to tell you what to play. In fact, I think as a casual player who has made it to endgame on both games to some degree, although not uberly far because, you know, I've just been lazy, I think I can provide some insight. You can play both. And the purpose of this video is kind of to hint sort of how odd this drama is with Last Epoch and the Path of Exile 2 community. Now you might be asking, you might be living under a rock, or perhaps you just want a refresher. Come on, Raya, usually the drama with Path of Exile is D4 bad. Why is Last Epoch being roped into this? Well, I'll explain. And it all comes down to a nice little teaser that we just recently received, which I will show right here. Real quick. That's loud.
Spirit guide us.
So if I'm not mistaken, my Java's on his back, baby.
And cunning.
Huntress! Quite nice. Get a little couple of shots.
A new hunt dawns.
Dawn the new hunt. Got a live reveal on March 27th at 12 p.m. PDT. I will be streaming that day, by the way. Come check out the content that time. And then there's this. 12 p.m. April 4th. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there was a little bit of backlash and concern regarding this release date. Now, why do you say? Is it because it's 3 days after April Fool's Day and it might be an extended April Fool's and they might delay it or something else might happen? No, it's actually funnier than that. It's because Last Epoch, which another ARPG that I love very much so, and honestly, I probably would not be playing Path of Exile if it wasn't if it wasn't for me taking a break from it when I first played it in Affliction to kind of play Last Epoch to kind of understand the structure, kind of how ARPGs work. So I have to give them credit for, you know, definitely heightening my insights. I mean, I'm still no Darth microtransactions. I'm still no Zinzrin. I don't think I'm any content creator, honestly, but at least I know how to spot build bait. Again, why is this a problem? The issue is that Last Epoch also released their Season 2 update details, which will be on, I believe, April 2nd. So, as you may know, this seems to cause a little bit of concern for the Last Epoch and Path of Exile 2 community. Oh, how could GGG do this? Oh wait, music. How could they do this? This is outrageous. This is unfair. Is it Tencent? Yes, it must be Tencent. Tencent's telling you to do it. Meanwhile, it's been established many times that Tencent really does not care about what they do because they trust that they know what they're doing. I would think with, you know, the amount of early access key redemptions and all the success they've had over the years that I don't think Tencent is, you know, telling them what to do necessarily. But I'm just gonna rip the band off. This feels like a NothingBurger. Now, to some degree, you know, some of these comments are objectively correct. Zizrin is right. This is a bad release date because you are dividing the player base of an ARPG community. And our good friend Chris Wilson, which sadly he's not in the company anymore, as mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, that economy resets and also having good set times for your players to come back are key for you to, how do I say it, maintain your concurrent players. So one example actually that even Jonathan Rogers popped up was that his idea for sort of having Path of Exile's longevity work out pretty well is have the Path of Exile 2 league start, right? And then about like a month and a half or 2 months into the league, or was it like 3, assuming that it's like 4 months long. That's when they do the POE 1 leagues. And then towards the end of the POE 1 leagues, then they do the POE 2 leagues. And I think this is a really good system to prevent people from being burnt out on one ARPG. And what I've appreciated in the past, to some higher extent, is that there tends to, maybe not intentionally, but there definitely does seem to be like this symbiotic relationship between the different release dates of these other ARPGs. Now, there's a couple of offenders, right? Like Diablo 2 Resurrected, for some reason, decided to release their new season on the day that Path of Exile 2 releases their early access, as if that was even going to do anything. Let's be honest with ourselves. But we're kind of caught in a predicament here too. And so, yes, it is a little bit off. So there are a lot of people that, just have really bad issues. Woody Joe is really hyped, but the choice of launch is horrible. Talkative Try. Sometimes we make fun of him. We call him a shill. A lot of people call him a shill. But I love the dude. He's really wholesome. He's just excited about the Huntress, guys. And honestly, so am I. Because I've been waiting for that class to come out. And actually, in previous videos or streams, I've talked about how I actually was very concerned about the Huntress, because I feel like out of all the new classes, like during the period before we actually got to the actual official early access release, we had like 2 minutes of Huntress gameplay. Now, we also had 2 minutes of Warrior gameplay too. However, other content creators got to try those in the many different flight demos that they've had. And also, there's the other classes as well that aren't in the game yet, that are from POE 1, but those at least have some kind of foundation for POE 1, so can't really make the same comparison. But yes, so again, everyone is upset about this launch date. Every single person. Wow, I really did just predict this, didn't I? Why did Tencent accept a crushing defeat of Last Epoch? Anyways, so as bad as it may be, there's also this dumb controversy about, well, they must have done it on purpose. Yeah, they're trying to screw with their competition. Meanwhile, you have interviews with Jonathan where he's talking about how there's things that they like about other RPGs that they want to learn from. So I don't think it made sense for them to be like, let's unintentionally screw this game over, when maybe you might want to see what Last Epoch is capable of doing for you to learn from it. Kind of like how D4 learned from it, All these ARPGs, like I said, there's this nice little passively symbiotic relationship they have of learning from each other. Now, sometimes it's a blatant copycat like Diablo 4, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I just don't get why you can't play both. And I know, oh, you don't have time. Listen, I work 60 hours a week, a little over that even. And I know it might not be a flex to some people, but I would say the average person probably works about that much. And I have really terrible time management. And with my terrible time management, you can set days to play one or play the other. Most of these content creators that are going kind of crazy about this, that's actually what kind of makes it funny for me, is that like there are some people that are just nonstop juicing maps or juicing monoliths, as if they can't, dedicate one half of their stream to one and one half over the other. RPG fans, especially, I would say that there are more people that play like POE that like Last Epoch than there are POE players that like Diablo 4, at least. So I don't know, maybe I'm overreaching a little bit. I just think that it's a little too intense, the drama. Now, one argument I've heard is that, well, Last Epoch, 11th Hour Games, they actually announced their date earlier, which is kind of true. But the issue with that is that, while not a direct release date, we've known for honestly a little over almost a month, that point 2 was going to release around that time, like in about a month or so. I think that was what the original post said. I could pull it up here, but I'm a little too lazy. All right, let's look at the rest of these. I am so hyped for this to logging in. My Monster Hunter Wilds fix is wearing off. Perfect time next POE2 happening. Now, this is what I mean as well. And again, Chris Wilson's talked about this before too, is that the beauty of having these ARPGs kind of cycle off each other, or even other games, is you could put the game down to play other games and then come back to it and not feel like you missed out on something. You might miss on a leak mechanic or two, but eventually it does make it the standard. Or what I mean by that is it ends up becoming part of the core game. So yeah, that's just my little thoughts. I mean, Aaron, our last epoch god, out the talking of try of last epoch. Again, not an insult. A little bit of a funny roast, but not an insult. I like these two content creators a lot. He's not even mad. I bet you. Oh, never mind. He might be mad. But again, I bet you these guys are gonna play both games. And again, I don't know how true the following statement I'm going to make is, but I feel like with these, at least for casual players, this is going to be my advice to you guys. I don't think I should be turned off by this. I can, again, understand kind of with content creators maybe a little bit, but with casual players, guys, you do realize leagues to some degree, like they're not going away. It's not like we only have 1 month to play the game and then we're screwed. This POE2 league is probably going to last another 3 or 4 months while they start to get other stuff burning. And I don't mean to be rude. Who knows how long this last epoch update will last, because I mean the last one we had has been, I don't think as long as Settlers of Calgary, but not too far off either. There's been some random mini resets from here and there. So, you know, these games are, what I think is, they're both still in their infancy, even though last epoch does have an official release. And they're kind of trying to get their balance. And I think if they can get that balance, then they can both definitely dominate the market with that. Aaron made a good point in his interview with Try that last epoch, I think he wants to be number 2. Now, I don't agree with that, because if you aim to be number 2, then you're going to be number 3 or 4. It's just like a NothingBurger, guys. NothingBurger with a 100% Prime Bowl. That's what I think, personally. But what do I know? I'm just Raya. Anyways, Huntress. I'm kidding. Well, guys, this is the end of my like mini rant. I just wanted to kind of bring up some things. Again, people are very, very upset about the timing. But if you genuinely like both games, I think you can make time for both games. It's definitely not impossible. Like, this is what's going to happen for some of us. Some of us are going to go into POE2's endgame very quickly. We're going to get really pissed off that we're going to get one shot by maps again, and then we're going to be able to go back and play last epoch. I mean, again, thank God it's not on the exact same day. You know, I can juice up last epoch for like the first 2 days that it comes out, because it's 2 days of it and then POE2. Or you never know, like the servers for POE2's queue might run into some last minute issues, and you might be able to play some last epoch while you wait for that to get fixed up. So again, maybe I'm just not as versed in ARPGs quite yet to really feel like I'm stuck between a choice, because I don't feel like I'm stuck between a choice. I feel like one game, like I said, last epoch is why I play POE2. And sometimes if POE2, and POE2 was actually the reason why I played last epoch, because again, I didn't know what I was doing. I got so fed up from getting one shot all the time, because I didn't even know what damage reflection was before. So because I made an Arc Elementalist Witch, a deflection, and I used a build guide from 3.19. I didn't even know that there was that big of a difference. So like I said, for me at least, you know, both games are responsible for me playing the other. So I think it's okay. Now again, maybe they should put some effort into not having this be a problem in the future, but I mean, that's up to them, guys. Or if you want to really cope, I guess it's up to Tencent. All right, well, this is the Raya signing out. If y'all appreciated this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's y'all want to see more. Or if you're watching this live on Twitch, because I am live on Twitch currently, leave a follow. Let's me know that y'all want to see more. I will be streaming later on today. I'll be doing some nice Monster Hunter Wilds action. We're gonna be going full force on there, switch axing our way into high rank, hopefully. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace.